Hey guys, just finished watching Gotham, Season 5, Episode 3, Ledger of the Dark Knight, Penguin, our hero. What an interesting episode. So this episode was kind of, it was okay. It was a fun episode. I like that the theme for this show, the ending to these episodes are really good. There's just some stuff that I just can't help but compare to other things and stuff. So we start off this episode with people are leaving Penguin's, his territory for Jim's place because, for the Gotham's GCPD's place, the Green Zone, because everything's nice and hunky dory there. Whereas people are starving in Penguin's place. He's holding the food for himself and all that stuff. So of course, there people are leaving to go to the GCPD's place. We see the street demons end up attacking Penguin because we found out last episode there was. We saw the Riddler found that someone had written Penguin was there, and they were kind of dumb, and they kind of just went straight up and thought that Penguin wrote his own name there. So they got set up, and they go and attack. But I guess it's only two guys attacked. That was kind of weird. They decided to go after Penguin, which, if I'm not mistaken, they do know that he's the guy who with all the bullets and stuff. And they only send two guys over, and now maybe only two guys were dumb enough to go over, and they're just two dumb guys who just didn't think before their actions or anything. But surprised that that there was, is that all there is of the gang? Only these two guys. I guess that makes sense because there's only like two, but it just should have made that a little bit more clear that I guess they kind of did that. These were the only two that were dumb enough to go attack Penguin. Even if he went and put his name on there, which doesn't make sense in the first place, right? So that was kind of weird. But then we see Selina she's in the hospital again, and she's kind of is having a nightmare, getting shot by Jeremiah, and then she leaves the hospital, and all of a sudden she's in like some sort of Catwoman style suit. It's pretty much Catwoman suit without the mask. She has everything but the mask now, and so it's pretty cool. But it's just like, where did she get the suit, and where did it come from? I understand these powers and these things are coming from the Poison Ivy stuff, but which I hope Poison Ivy is more than just, here's this thing that revives Selina, that's it, bye. Just so they could have that cliffhanger last season to undo it and have her become here. If they actually have Poison Ivy in this season, hopefully she can be a recurring character, because Poison Ivy is a big enough character, and her power set is enough for her. In the comics, she takes over Superman. She's able to control Superman using her plants and stuff. So I think that was a kind of an interesting storyline. I forget what it was. Batman Hush. She takes over Superman. She's controlling Superman, and so she could be able to take over this whole place, all of Gotham, with her plants and kind of root up places. And everyone has food, this and stuff, but she could control all kinds of stuff with creating food, creating vegetables, and sucking in energy, making vine bridges across this stuff. Now, obviously, that's a lot of CGI and stuff they're not going to do in a show like this, but Poison Ivy has the powers to take over all of Gotham, and that would be something cool to see, and I wish they would do that. And I'd like to see a reason why she doesn't do that, other than kind of too high budget for a show. I keep on referring to that as the reason why they don't do things, and I just hate that. Get the right budget, Hopefully, when Disney has this kind of streaming service with $100 million budget, it makes all these other shows that have these, these smaller budgets kind of, up their game and kind of revamp their shows and stuff, because they need to be like. I'm going to start comparing the Gotham. Gotham will be over, but I'm going to start comparing these shows to the $100 million budget shows, and that it's their fault for not giving it more money. So it's on them. I know I probably shouldn't compare the two, but I'm going to compare the two, and it doesn't matter anymore. So I think that's kind of the way I kind of started to look at it. So we see Selina and Bruce end up start looking for Jeremiah. Now that there's a few more people kind of coming into the Green Zone, they end up finding a guy who has written "kill" like all cut inside of him, and that was a really cool scene, cool shot and stuff. It's disappointing that we still haven't seen anything of Jeremiah. Not mistaken, the actor is busy filming. He films that other show, like the Shameless show, and I think I've seen him doing. I think he was doing an independent film or something like that. I saw him on his Instagram, which disappointing because I wish he was in every episode of Gotham, and did nothing but Gotham because it's his best character by far. I watched Shameless and stuff a little bit here and there, and he's okay on there, but it's just. Playing the Joker, he is amazing at it. So I wish he was in every episode, and I wish they had found a way to, lock him in for every single episode, because this is disappointing not seeing him here. And I hope they don't have him only for like the end, because that would be really a bummer. So yeah, and then we see Penguin. All of his staff ends up leaving for the Green Zone. We see Bruce and Selina end up meeting one of the mutants from the Dark Knight Returns comics, which is pretty cool. I think it was really comic book accurate. It was really fun, except for, nothing really happened with that scene. He was like, oh, cool, super comic book accurate character that you never thought you'd see in live action, and here you go, you have it, and it goes nowhere. So that was it was okay. It looked very well, though. The costume department for the show is amazing. They need to get, an Emmy. It's perfect, So that was really cool. We see Penguin ends up attacking Jim with the street demons, and then Selina gets into a fight with the mutant and ends up winning and stuff. But it's such a boring fight because all she does is jump around, not to get hit, because clearly, no matter how well, she's not trained enough to take him down, If she actually, she never really did anything. All she did is happen to scratch him. Now, if she had, poison on her tips, on her fingertips or something like that, those claws, that would be interesting, then that would kind of weaken him and stuff. But it's just the fight, which is kind of different, kind of terrible. And I keep thinking of the awesome fight in Batman v Superman, when Ben Affleck just kind of takes down Lex Luthor's criminals, trying to save Martha, and he just kind of, that great scene, and none of that is in this show. This show, I mean, it's a good show. I like this show. It's a fun show. It's just I wish the fight in department, I wish it was on the movie scale, movie level fight choreography. I mean, they have movie level fight choreography on Daredevil. I would put the Ben Affleck fight scene and Daredevil's fight scene, like season 1 and season 2. Those fight choreographers, are both Oscar worthy. If I'm not sure if there's an Oscar category for fight choreographers, it should be that scene for Ben Affleck and the Daredevil stuff. So don't see why this couldn't get that. And I wish they would have got a little bit better fight scenes. So this show needs a lot better fight scenes, but we're probably not going to get it for the last season. So we see she kind of beats the mutant guy, but it was like, oh, okay, she just beats him because she's a main character. There's no other reason. There's not really a good fight at all. And even Bruce fighting in the background, not really as good. It doesn't look like Batman with, either one being skilled enough. It would be cool to see him skilled enough to do it. I mean, that's the whole thing about Batman is in the comic books. I can remember a Neil Adams comic book where he tries to get into a room and there's this huge 8-foot tall guy, blocking the doorway, and Batman, instead of doing a kung fu move to try and, to take him down and stuff, Batman just kind of kicks him full force, and then the next panel is just him getting slammed through the door. Batman just kicked him full force and is able to take him down. That's the Batman, and we get none of that with this Bruce Wayne. His fighting style is just kind of terrible. It doesn't feel like Batman, and we know that it's going to be Batman by the end of the season, which only has a few more episodes. Let's see, IMDb here says we're on episode 3, and we're going to go to episode 12, Dark, and the last one is called The Legend of the Dark Knight, Batman. So I think that's obviously he's going to be Batman there. So he's far. It looks like far away away, and it was cool seeing him use the grappling hook and stuff. But he just he uses the grappling hook, and it goes around Selina's hand to stop her from doing that, which is really cool. And then it just goes limp right away, and it's not like he was grabbing it and he was able to hold her hand back from she was pulling. That would have been the way to do it. Is she was about to do the kill blow or whatever, another hit, and he kind of uses his grappling hook around her hand, and that's it. He just kind of grappled it around her hand, but there was no tension on there for him to stop her from doing that. And that would have been the moment where he's pulling against her, and maybe, she's about to go and he does it and she pulls and he just and she tries one more time and then he kind of pulls her and he kind of, pulled her from on top of the guy before she had killed him, right? I think that would have been the moment. That would have been cool seeing that. But the way he just kind of launched his thing and it just went around and it went limp right away, the cord, he didn't try and pull her away from him, and keep the grappling hook tight. It just looked kind of silly. It looked like it was failed, It didn't really look, it looked terrible. It looked like a YouTube, it's just it didn't look serious at all. It made the grappling hook look kind of wimpy and stupid. So that was kind of boring. That was kind of it was oh cool, the grappling hook. Oh no, the grappling hook. Pretty much is what happened there. So we see Jim ends up running out of ammo when Penguin ends up attacking Jim, and so he has to give in to Penguin because he has no ammo to fight him back with. Selena and Bruce end up finding a Jeremiah cult where they find some sort of Harley Quinn-like character. They never really called her Harley Quinn, but she's pretty much Harley Quinn. So very close to all the... it's like they're doing Harley Quinn, very close to Harley Quinn, but not saying it's Harley Quinn because either one, they're not allowed to because of the movies, or they just don't want to say it's Harley Quinn and have them kind of completely miss the mark and be a terrible version. In case this is a terrible version of Harley Quinn and people don't like it, they can go, no, that wasn't Harley Quinn, kill her off, which they can't really do because they are all done filming, so they should just call her Harley Quinn. I don't know why they're not doing that. It's the last season. What does the movies have anything to do? The movies are just, if I'm not mistaken, I just posted on my Instagram this morning that they just started filming the Birds of Prey. I think there was someone who posted online about as being a Black Mask henchman, so they should start be filming now. So that, by the time the movie comes out, Gotham will be long over, and Gotham only has 12 episodes, so, they won't be done filming the movie by the time the show is, they might just barely be done filming, depending on when they're supposed to end this. Gotham will end, so probably won't even be done filming. So I think that's why don't they just call her Harley Quinn, and why not make her more comic book accurate? I don't know. I mean, Jeremiah and Jerome they've been close to the Joker, but they haven't been comic book Joker. Purple suit, red, green hair. Hopefully we get to see that. It would be cool to see him turn into something like that. Make him dress him up in pretty much, well, I guess a version that would fit him, but dress him up in a remake of the, I can't think of his name, the Batman 89 Joker costume. I think that would be really cool. Seeing him in that would be really cool. So we see that. We see the street demons end up turning on Penguin, locking him up with Jim, which was okay. And then we see the Harley Quinn ends up making them play kind of a game of chicken with with the revolvers and stuff. So that was really cool. That was a really cool, intense moment there. We see Penguin ends up helping Jim, trying to get take care, kill the gang, and they get out and then when they leave, everyone starts cheering for Penguin, and it's like, why are they cheering for Penguin? I mean, at first I thought some of them were going to diffuse and leave, and I guess if a small portion of them left and became loyal to Penguin, that would make sense, since there's a ton of people, right? Some people would have, the people who were loyal to him would maybe become loyal to him again, but I just didn't understand why they were all cheering against him, because he brought them there. He brought the criminals there in the first place. If he hadn't done that, nothing would have happened. They all would have been okay. So it's all on him, right? I don't understand why they were really cheering for him. Whatever. It was kind of weird there. And then we see Selena ends up cuffing Bruce so that she can go after, Jeremiah, because Bruce doesn't want her. Sees her going a bit too far and stuff. She's almost killed the Harley Quinn character, Harley Quinn person, and so that's where we end with that. It was Bruce being cuffed, and she goes after him, and she got cut in the leg, so she's kind of bleeding and stuff, but she's kind of gets too hopped up on the whatever plant stuff Poison Ivy gave her. So hopefully Bruce will break out, and maybe he'll have to go to Poison Ivy, and they'll have to team up to help to stop Selena from going too far and over the edge. I think that could be really cool. Then we could see, maybe they have to. Then Poison Ivy has to go, and Bruce together have to go into the Dark Zone to stop Selena, but Poison Ivy has to use her powers in the Dark Zone. I think that could be cool, and seeing a few more gangs like we did today, but with Poison Ivy using her powers to defend, I think that could be really cool and could be quite interesting with something like that. And I think it could be quite fun to see as to where things go, because Poison Ivy is by far the most unutilized character. Like she's able to take down Superman. She was able to control Superman in the comics. She does nothing of that level, of that power level here. In the comics, she's able to take over Gotham because with giant plants and stuff, and that's really awesome. And here they do nothing. They just here's a couple of plants moving. Here's some potions. Here's some. She's just like a plot device and not an actual. She could be a full-on season-long villain. I mean, heck, you could make a full-on Batman game with just Poison Ivy as the villain because she has such immense powers, She is like a huge villain and so powerful. But they don't utilize her at all here. So the episode ends with, just as they're about to let Penguin go, Jim's about to let Penguin go because he did help, help Jim escape and take down the gang and stuff. Barbara shows up because Bullock had gone to get her, and she's about to shoot Penguin when the green zone explodes. All the places explode and stuff. So I think that's going to be interesting to see as to where things go. I'm expecting that maybe some of the people who, were from the dark zone, maybe they were infected by Jerome or somehow, and they planted some bombs inside of people, kind of like Dark Knight style. Where remember the guy in the prison, and if you go back to the Dark Knight with Heath Ledger, he was in prison, and he had a scar across, and they're like, "What's this?" And it was he wanted his phone call, right? And then he blew up, and Heath Ledger Joker used the phone call inside the guy's body to explode and escape. So I think things like that could be really cool if they play that idea and say some people had bombs implanted inside themselves. I think that would be really dark and be the way to do that. I mean, they're not going to they obviously didn't show that, but I think that'd be a cool way to say that there were a bunch of 20 of them came in not knowing that they had bombs inside, like planted surgically inside them. I think that would be kind of messed up and be kind of cool to see that, and kind of force everyone to kind of team up, maybe force Barbara and Penguin to team up and protect themselves from Jerome because they don't know who's going to walk up and come around and be a bomb, right? I think that could be really cool and it could be really fun. So all in all, I can't wait to see as to where things kind of go with this, but I'm just kind of disappointed that things are not at the level that they should be for a show like this. But last season, so we'll have to wait and see as to where things go. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Where do you think things are going? What did you like? What you didn't like? And do you agree with me on some of these topics? I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.